Okay, good morning. I'm going to kill two birds with one stone as well. Okay, so I've seen a lot of young people out there who are like your past. You like do what you do, maybe comedian and drawings. But the thing is that they also face challenges like you. Like maybe they have not unsupportive teachers, unsupportive parents, even up to university level. Like I myself as an engineering student, and I have some friends who take drafting and they have an assignment whereby they have to do some 3D modeling stuff. So the lecturer has come up with these few designs. So some of my friends want to do something different, maybe an engine or a Porsche. And they told the lecturer their desire to do that, and the lecturer was like, no, this is too sophisticated. I won't approve that. So, I know that let's say if we don't let them, do what they want to do for creativity, they'll go to like what we youngsters nowadays usually do, like eat, sleep, lepak, or Dota. So, okay, so my question here is how we can make the young people out there to carry out their passion related to creativity despite the challenges from the education system, unsupportive teachers, and parents. Thank you.
Thank you. You want to take this one?
All right, okay. As I told you, I am the kind of person, if you tell me not to do something, I would do it. And like that suggestion just now, what happened was, you said that you have the certain type of drawings, you want to do something different, but you can't. What me and my friends, when we were in college was, we didn't even tell the teacher. We were not supposed to do it, but we did it anyway. And the teacher was so impressed of what we did. Basically what we did was, we were supposed to build something, and usually they give us simple design. There were 4 designs that they gave us to design with a lathe machine, right? What me and my friends did was, we took a BMW engine, we took it apart, and we rebuilt the thing. It was a broken down engine, so we rebuilt the whole thing. And it was such a big project for 18-year-olds, right? And that my lecturer, it was not even part of the first 4 design scopes that they gave. So when we did it and we showed it to him, he looked at it and he went, but this was not in the design scope. So we got a D. Right? But what we did, but then he took us away and said, look, what you all did is amazing. In fact, I couldn't do this now. But what you all 4 18-year-olds did was something amazing. So, and that's when, you realize that, look, although I got a D, I got to, redo another design and got an A after that. But the thing is, sometimes you challenge, when you challenge the structure, when you challenge this thing, you realize that you are meant for bigger things, and people realize you are meant for bigger things, and it's hard to challenge the powers that be. It's very hard to challenge that. I mean, everything is there to stifle you. It is. I mean, the Malaysian education system is not exactly the best in the world. It's not the worst in the world, but there are teachers out there that actually do care. They do. I know they're there. It's very hard to find, but the thing is, look, if you challenge the system, people will realize you're better than you are meant for bigger things, and you yourself will realize you're meant for bigger things. And if you don't challenge the system, you will never know how far you can go before you have to step back.
I think that pretty puts it in a very good, a really good way of saying it. So for myself, I agree with what Kavin said, which is, yeah, you have to challenge things, because even for what I do, no one would actually see value in it. No one, when I was doing, on the illustration level, it's kind of cool, but it's not like super Illustrator level. But because how I created value, that's how it kind of becomes something that's business worthy. It becomes something very interesting. So I agree with what Kavin said, where you kind of have to challenge the system as well, because no one else is doing it in Malaysia. I'm like the first, and it's kind of weird being the first person doing this as well. And also, because of my age, people are quite surprised as well. They're like, oh, I've been with clients and they ask, how old are you? I'm like, oh, I'm like 23. And she's like, oh, wow, I can be your mom. I'm like, thanks. Thank you. So it's kind of weird, to kind of like be young and kind of like try different things. And I'm lucky to have people believe in me, like take a chance with me on a professional level. Like, I'll pay you to do it, just do this for us. And that can be kind of interesting because I'm the one calling the shots. There's no boss in front of me telling me like, oh, Bernie, you must do this. I do like everything in my company. I choose what I want to. I choose who I want to work with, what I want to do. Everything is under my control. And that's kind of powerful. And so currently I don't have anyone telling me I can't do this. And in school, there are probably, lecturers have their own agenda as well, where they want to, everyone should pass, we need to kind of follow the scope. And I mean, innovation isn't really, it's not really part of their, you know, their, innovation isn't part of their job scope, their KPI, whatever. Just wanted to do it, pass, graduate, pay your fees, next batch come in. So sometimes you do get eventually lecturers who kind of believe in you, they want you to kind of do something different, they support you. But at the end of the day, you kind of, the grades matter. Like he mentioned, like the grades matter, you do great, but you could give you a D anyway. So it's like, you know, doesn't really, it's not a great system to do something different and expect a good grade out of it. So currently in Malaysia and even overseas as well, they also, it's based on a grade system. It's not the best system. But I mean, and many of us would agree maybe after college, what you did in college doesn't really matter so much because what I did is totally different. What he's doing now, no one taught him. What I learned, I kind of learned on myself, my own time. So, you know, you kind of have to, kind of like people say no to you, thank them because they said no, you kind of did it yourself. And I'm thankful for those people that said no to me when I was growing up. They said, no, you're not good, which I kind of pursued it anyway, gave me thicker skin to pursue what I wanted. Brick walls in your life are meant to be there to test how much you want it. If you want it bad enough, you will break them down or you just turn around like an ant or something. But if you really want it, you break it down. And I'm glad I broke down some barriers, and I'm sure Kavin did too. And I encourage you to do the same as well, if you really believe in what you want to do.
All right, thanks.
And
All right, I think before we end, I just got one last question. You guys know how, just quick answers, all right? You guys know how you were saying, creative people, you gotta beat the system, you know, you gotta subvert the system. When people tell you no, you gotta say, I can do it. So it kind of makes creative people a bit difficult sometimes. And I would know because as an editor, I work with writers every day, and you know, those people are crazy. So how do you work with them?
How do you work with creative people? You don't. You let them do what they want, and then you pay them money at the end of the month. That's what you do. But no, creative people. There's a reason why you hired creative people. You were a writer once, right? You.
I'm not crazy.
You're not crazy. Okay, no wonder you're editor now. But no, but here's the thing. I mean, you hired creative people for a reason, and let them do what they do best. Unless it gets you into trouble, then yeah, you guide them a little bit. But at the end of the day, creative people are creative people, and that's what they want to do. As I said, creative people never work for people; they work for themselves, and basically give you a result, and the gratification is basically on the result of what they get. So yeah, that's.
Power to the people.
yeah, well, for creative, for me, sometimes I work better under pressure, which is how I produce work quickly. But for myself, I'm kind of interesting, which is I kind of produce things on a day, on the spot, done. I walk away, that's done. So I don't really have so much of a long process. It happens within the same time. So for creativity, yeah, sometimes if I do other events that are pre-done before another project, I would, I take my time as well. And my clients have been very kind of lenient with me to give me time to take time. And creativity takes time. We don't want to force you. We understand what you want to do. So that kind of, in that way, it kind of has that benefit of working on my own. If I worked within a company, I have to work with very tight deadlines. I have to do exactly what they wanted. But because I'm engaged separately, on like a consultant basis, they trust me to actually produce the results. And actually, I have better control. And that's what I really wanted when I pursued this, that no company would make sense to hire me full time because I can't produce work just for you at the same time. And then the value that I create is so much more than what they could afford to pay me. So right now when I have control, I take pride in my work, I choose what I want to do, I do feel that I'm very much happy. I guess the sweet spot is do what you love, do what people will pay you for, and do what, what's the third one? Which is something that I think that you have talent to do. So those three things, I'm doing it right now, and I'm surprised that I actually managed to pursue it so early in my career, because many people wait till their 30s after 10, the reasonable process would be to wait 10 years of doing something after your degree and then start your own company. That's like the respectable time. I did it like a year, 2 years after I graduated. My parents were like, seriously? Okay, but so far they see the value in it, and I'm lucky that I came in the right time, right place. It all worked out.
All right, sure did.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sorry. She's the boss right there.
I speak on behalf of, I think there are a few over 50 years old here, right? Nobody is admitting it, right? Anyone above 50? Thank you. So, you're 50? No, you're not.
We feel like we're 50.
So,
Yeah,
the way conversations were going and the things that I read, I attend TEDx and I read all these journals and manga, whatever. It looks like, for us, above 50s, yeah, there seems to be no future. The future is bleak. That means the spark after 25, you are, whatever the word is, that you have, nobody wants to look at you because you're not creative or whatever. No? But I believe that belonging to you guys are, the old word is yuppie generation, yuppie, young upward. But we above 50s, you belong to the goatee generation, G-O-T-Y, which is growing older, thinking younger. So those above 50s, we'd like to get some inspiration from Kavin and Bernie. Is there any hope for us to be creative? Because after all, we are going to our second childhood. So as a child, we should be creative, right? So.
Thank you. You take this? Well, the way I look at it is definitely the reason a lot of people tell me that they meet me and they're like, wow, you're so young, you're pursuing all this stuff. The reason I ask them, like, what's holding you back from doing this? And it's like, oh, kids, I can't quit my job, I need to support all these things. And sometimes the mindset sometimes is real, because I don't have that experience of having kids and everything yet. I'm still like, I'm just living to just enjoy and just be honest with myself and pursue what I want. So I'm very much doing it for myself and serving other people as well. So when you have that responsibility, that kind of holds you back as well. So I'm not sure, but right now, do you feel that you're free? Your kids are all graduated, you're free to it's like second childhood, you're a teenager again. So that's like a rebirth in a way. So I think definitely you have that experience. Maybe you see things on a different level. I think the challenge for you maybe would be to find a way to maybe work with a younger generation or whatever, to find a way of kind of like bringing your ideas to life, whether it be through technology or design or anything like that. So I think definitely maybe the way, if you have an idea that you think your experience is definitely very valuable, things that the younger generation won't have, if you can find a way to make that relevant in doing through different ways of working together to engage other people with your experience and your viewpoint of like over 50 years of living on this earth, then I think definitely you can find a way to create value of that as well. Currently, what I have, my experience is just since I was in school, and right now what I see. So right now my maturity level is definitely not at the same level as yours. You probably have a lot of different viewpoints, and I think you have to find a way to harness that and then charge for it. Thank you.
Actually, okay, one thing for me is age is just a number. Look, when people find out that I'm 34, they're like, wow, so old lah. I'm like, what? Okay, but the thing is, age is just a number. I mean, some of the most interesting, actually one of the most interesting comedians that I know is Earl Oaken, and he's a British comedian. He's 65 years old, right? And he's the funniest person I've ever met. And it doesn't matter how old you are. I mean, in comedy, I run an open mic night every Tuesday, and you know, there are people who come out there who basically 45, who think they're past it, but no, they become funny. They because a lot of kids want to hear what you see of us. What is the funny side of the younger people? You know, like what happened? Like, what do you do for a living? Yeah.
I'm a bachelor.
Before that.
I used to run the multimedia school corridor.
And You run the multimedia. All right. Did you study? What did you study when you were younger? Wow. All right. That's pretty good, right? And you used to run something. You used to do something. You know, and you're very inspirational to everyone. I mean, I'm sure the kids here would like, you know. Yeah, sure. No problem. You should be sitting here.
Kavin's comment, because I had an experience. You were asking about what I think about the younger generation, right? So, you know, Laoya Plaza?
Yeah.
So I have not been there for about 2-3 years. So I said, okay, I'll go there and have look at my motherboards and what have you, you know. Thanks, mother. So when I went there, I had one of my minor cultural shock, because everyone there selling the stuff, first their hair is like that. And then there's half the skin there, you know, with the earring. And everybody saying, we have chew, you know. So I couldn't get anything done because I couldn't communicate with them.
See, you just made a bunch of younger people laugh. And the thing is, creativity, it doesn't stifle with age, or the younger you are, the older you are. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter about age. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what you are. You can harness, as I said, build your own moments. That moment can happen when you're 50. That moment can happen when you're 8. That moment can happen when you're 15. It doesn't really matter, as long as you make that moment for yourself, or you capture that moment for yourself. That's the very important part. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter who you are, what you are. It's just living yourself. It's living for yourself. It's doing it for yourself. And when you do it for yourself, you will do it a lot better than doing it for someone else.
Thank you very much, Kavin, Bernie, and Ian, for your input and sharing, and also all the engaging questions that we have from our audience today. And with that, we have come to the end of today's StarLIVE session. Once again, a big thank you and a round of applause for our guest speakers, Kavin and Bernie, as well as Ian, for moderating the session, and also for yourselves for being part of today's StarLIVE event. Be sure to look out for details on the next StarLIVE, featuring an arts and craft workshop with our in-house Craftipedia columnist Lee Mei Lee. Now, thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Do you get ever interview? Do you ever do your own, like, share your experience as a writer?
That's when I share.
Congratulations.
That's why it's the up-and-coming magician, basically. So he does the show with Kavin over in
I want to get in touch with you. I'm from the dark side.
No, it's no aspects.
Program. Yeah.